I want to discuss three cryptos that we talk about often here on the channel. All right, so we're going to be mentioning Solana, XRP, and HBAR. Okay, three cryptos that I'm bullish on. I want to give you guys my insight because I think that as we look at kind of what we're going through right now, some short-term volatility potentially. We're seeing the markets plagued with a lot of correction, a lot of selling pressure as well. I want to talk about kind of what's going on. Bitcoin's holding true at 119,000. I'll give you guys my thoughts and insight. And I do want to give thanks to all my returning subscribers tuning in. So let's get down into it. And if you are not currently subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us. And let's get down into it, okay? So as we stand today, despite all the correction that we have been seeing, Solana, XRP, HBAR, according to this article coming out from the Cryptonomist, they are in great shape. All right, so we'll get into some of the data points. I'll give you guys my thoughts towards the end of this video, so make sure you stick around to the end. But as we analyze a lot of the price trends right now, despite some of the significant gains, we are in a little bit of a correction period, okay? And I think that's healthy. If you look at organic crypto volume, trading volume, all right, what goes up must go down. A lot of cryptos up 60+%. Yeah. We're going to have some correction. We're going to have some profit taking. That's to be expected. Okay. But on the other hand, the Bitcoin season, a lot of people thought ended 2 weeks ago after lasting for a period of months. And that's kind of where a lot of people thought that capital was going to be flowing into altcoins. It still is. But now that buying pressure has exhausted a little bit. So I want to give you guys kind of a synopsis about what's happening right now as we look into it. Solana reaching an all-time high back in January, still very, very quite far away from that. The rebound that we have seen in July, which historically I do want to mention is a very, very kind of bad month for crypto trading, okay? But I think that as we looked into Solana, getting a huge amount of inflows from the Trump token coming about, and as that boom kind of faded away, everything kind of went towards normal, okay? And as we got into the end of October in that last year, in 2024, Solana was about $150, just food for thought, before the Trump trades came about. And then from there, guys, doubled in less than 3 months. I think that's kind of when meme coins started to boom. But then that collapse even to just over $100, which would be an extreme discount for Solana. Me personally, I had the good fortune of buying Solana at $19 way back when. Okay, so dips present opportunities, right? We're not just going to hold crypto and ride off into the sunset. Trading is working both ways right now, and I think that's very much evident with what we're seeing. Some of the buy sell numbers that we are getting, some of the liquidations that are ensuing, and that's healthy. Okay, that's good, healthy growth. Now, unless you have a very low cost basis and you're hodling, that's a whole different equation. But if you are looking to capitalize on some trades, Solana is one that I definitely do feature. And if you were able to buy $100 Solana back there in March and April, congratulations. I still think you're sitting in good position, okay? But as Solana rebounded into July, that's kind of where we started to remain around $150. We tested 200, and then that's kind of what we've seen basically since this last Monday, where we did jump above $200 once again. And then boom, nothing really happened, just kind of woke up the next day and we started to see some fatigue. Okay, so that's kind of where we look into Solana. I think that it's very bullish. I think that a lot of cryptos are depending on it too in terms of the meme coin space. But I think that all bets are off. Solana is a crypto that if you were able to obtain it less than $200, I think you're still sitting in a very good spot, okay? So that's kind of where I stand on Sol. XRP, Ripple, this is kind of where we want to talk about a very different conversation, because Ripple and XRP, they're sitting in a position where, quite frankly, they're independent of the rest of the market, in my personal opinion, okay? I think that if they do take hold of the cross-border payments market, if they do replace the SWIFT banking system, we talked $3.80, that high point that we reached in January of 2018. But if we do kind of look into other people who view it as $3.65, which we reached just 5 days ago, okay? That's kind of where we look into that moment and what the all-time high price of XRP is. Now, for this speculation and what we're going to talk about, that's still relatively cheap in the expectations of XRP holders and what people believe that the future of XRP has in store, okay? And for them, we're talking $5 to $20, even more than that for some people that are even more bullish. It's very speculative because of the way the tokenomics is and the liquidity demand. Once that liquidity comes in from the RLUSD, if they get some backing from the government, all bets are off. And it does have a very strong conversation point to be made. XRP at one point could be in the way that we view Bitcoin today. All right, it could be too expensive just to buy one XRP, just like you can't buy one BTC. All right, so that's something you could think about. I think that as long as XRP is trading over $2, which in some form or fashion, in my viewpoint, I do view as the new 50 cents level, as we were in the litigation and dealing with all that debacle. So that's kind of where, as long as we're above $2, I think it's all systems go for XRP. Okay, and I think that as we look at where we're trading right now, it's on a nice healthy correction, allowing a lot of entry points to some traders who basically missed the boat before XRP broke out to the $3.60 range. Okay, Hedera is another crypto HBAR that I am bullish on. Okay, still down a little bit more than 50% from the all-time highs we saw back in 2021. It was a crypto that basically in the time frame that even when we witnessed the Trump token taking off, this was a crypto that we were talking and buying at 4, 5, 6 cents. Little house money here, a little different conversation. So to put it into perspective, Solana, strong, just consistent movement. I think that it has a lot of strength over time, where Solana is going to ascend. XRP has probably the most potential moving forward, and HBAR, I think that's something where you look at the very discounted price and just kind of the highest valuation in terms of if you were able to obtain HBAR, one HBAR at 4 cents, you're sitting pretty well. And you know, there is a very strong sentiment to be noted when we talk HBAR. This is a crypto that could reach $1 very easily. Okay, just with the collaborations, the integrations, and with RWAs. All bets are off if HBAR gets its day. I think it's very naive in their time frame. Personally, I think we're still very early to HBAR. I think people don't appreciate it because it's not flashy. It doesn't really have meme coins, doesn't really have anything that draws people into it other than the tech. Okay, but I think there's a lot more to it. And as we talk about kind of the local peak that we saw back on July 18th, you have to kind of look at it. It looks very, very solid right now at the price level that we're trading at. Okay. It's still very much in a good position, in my opinion. So I wanted to kind of highlight HBAR because I think in terms of growth potential in the shorter term, they're just basically sitting in my opinion, a sleeping giant waiting to break out above $1. So that's kind of where I stack up. Okay, Solana is going to be kind of that steady, already made it. We're still going to go up higher. XRP, there's still kind of that speculative play separate from all of the other cryptos that we do talk about that I do think that there is a lot of opportunity with. And then HBAR, probably the biggest exponential boom or bust that we will mention as well, where I do see a world where HBAR can pretty much have a 4x from where we're at right here, right now. And I don't think that same sentiment goes for any of the cryptos that we talked about within Solana and XRP. Okay, so it's going to be a fun summer. We'll see what happens. Me personally, I think it's kind of a good spot that we're in because July has always historically been a very slow month. So as we look at it right now, I'll take it, right? Anytime we talk all-time highs in July, that's a very positive sentiment in my personal opinion. So leave a comment down below. Which one of these three cryptos are you favoring? And if you have any thoughts with what they're doing right now on the charts, please feel free. I look forward to having that discussion. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe on your way out, and we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.